Okay, so we have our super moist fresh vanilla cake mix. That's the choice of flavor I chose. You can choose any type of cake mix from a box that you want. Um this will work for these two ingredients will work for any cake mix. So first you're gonna get you a bowl. You'll need some measuring cups, some milk, eggs, butter, frosting, um and yeah, that's just the basics. Everything else I have is just extra stuff because I like to be dramatic. So, of course, you're gonna pour your cake mix in a big enough bowl to add all your ingredients and mix it in. Then you're gonna take your milk. Now, I use on the box it says use water. This is where it makes your box cake mix taste like Grandma Bessie made it. You're gonna use milk instead of water. You're gonna use a cup of milk as if you were using a cup of water, um, as it tell you to use on the box. So you can use any type of milk that you want, but I want to be original and do what you would originally do when you make a regular cake mix and you use regular milk, whole milk. You can use almond milk, but almond milk doesn't really have a flavor unless you get it flavored. That's a different story for a different tutorial. Okay. So I pour my cup of milk in my dry mix, which is your cake mix, and I am now adding my butter to my 1 cup measuring cup. Now, butter is the replacement of vegetable oil. I'm guessing that butter gives a more richer flavor. I'm not sure what it does, but I think it brings out the flavor more. So that vegetable oil you see in the top right, just kick it, just throw it away or throw it off your patio. I don't know, do something with it. We're not using that today. And then I am filling up well, not filling up. I'm putting some generous scoops in my 1 cup measuring cup. On the box, it would say to add half a cup of vegetable oil. With the butter, you want to add just a little bit more than half a cup. So that's what I'm doing. I'm filling up my 1 cup measuring cup, just enough to where when it melts, because you're going to melt this butter, when it melts, it'll, fill up about a little bit more than halfway. So now, on the box, it says to use 3 eggs, use 4 instead. Use 1 extra egg. So how many eggs it says on the box, just use 1 extra more. Again, this will make your box cake mix tastes like it was from scratch. I am telling you, honey, do as I say. I am not getting you wrong, I promise. So I'm just adding my 4 large eggs. On the box and originally says to add 3. So I'm adding 4 large eggs. Bloop, bloop, bloop. That's what the other egg is going to sound like. Bloop. Crack, crack, crack. Yes, just add them in. So while I was in the store, I'm really just baking this cake because I told somebody that I'm a baker, which I am. But I was in the store, my siblings were like, just use a box mix. Just use a box cake mix. Just use a box. Get the box. And I was like, y'all some haters. I feel like I'm cheating myself. But that's okay because I'm going to rig this and make it taste like I made it from scratch. Okay, so as you can see, I had added the melted butter. And this is a little secret of mine, but my family, we always add a vanilla extract to our pancakes, to our cake mix. Even though it says a vanilla cake, we still just add a little bit of vanilla extract, just a little capful, a small teaspoon, and then we just add it. Now, since all your ingredients are added, you want to mix everything together. So right now, I'm just mixing it all together. On the box, it says mix vigorously for 2 minutes. As you can see, I am gaining muscles from mixing this thick cake mix it's not that thick, but like, if you just mix with like one hand, you see I had to switch hands because this gets tiring just mixing with one hand. Okay, so now that my cake mix is all mixed, you want to make sure you get all the lumps out of there, so no powder lumps or none of that still floating around your batter. You just want to mix it good, okay? um Now I have a cupcake pan and a small cake pan. um you want to make sure that you have some cupcake liners to put in your cupcake pan, because of course you don't want your cake mix to stick to the pan. If you didn't have, also it gives it shape. If you don't have, now for cakes, you will want to, this is what we do. This is what my grandma used to do. This is how I grew up and learned. For cakes, how to not get it to stick to the pan. We would take our cake pan, put a little oil, rub the oil around, and throw some flour on top of that oil, and then move the flour around, make sure it coats the whole pan, and yeah, and then just pour the cake mix on top of that flour in your cake pan, and I promise you, it will get the cake out of there in a jiffy. Like, you won't have no type of problems. Like, that's how you make a non-stick pan when you baking a cake. Okay, so with filling up the cupcake liners, you want to fill it up halfway because you want to give it enough, allow it to have enough room to rise and bake. It has to grow into a delicious, fun size cupcake. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm filling up halfway, some more than others. We're not perfect. Um, and yeah, we just fill it up like so. Now I'm a little messy girl, so of course I'm spilling the cake mix everywhere, but you can always wipe it up if you don't like to make mess and you don't want it to be burnt, because that cake mix that's on the cupcake pan like that is going to get burnt. Now I'm just pouring the rest of the cake mix into my cake pan, my small little cake pan I got from the dollar store, because this was all, quick, a last minute idea, like, oh, I want to make a cake and all this. Um, Same with the cake. Same with the cake pans. You want to fill it up like a little bit halfway, so you can allow the cake to rise up when it's baking, because that's what it does. It forms its shape and it rises up. Right now, I am patting the pan, or like, just, yeah, like patting. I don't really know what to call that, but I was patting the pan because air bubbles, they will come up when you do that, and I don't know what it's supposed to do, but I just remember my grandma doing that every time she made a cake. So that's what I did. I just pat it on the table, and now you'll see like little air bubbles coming up, and yeah, get the bubbles out. So now we are moving on to the frosting. I had bought some gel coloring, food coloring gel, that neon colors, purple, orange, green, pink. Got take you 4 different bowls. This is optional. This is if you want to be dramatic as me. Get you 4 different bowls. I have 2 different frostings because one container will only cover 15 servings, and I have a cake, and I think I had 6 cupcakes, or was it 8? I'm not sure how many was in that pan, but I know I have cupcakes and I have a cake that I'm baking, so I was going to need about 2 canisters, which I really did not need. I don't know. I also have some marshmallow fluff, as you can see, that I added to my frosting because I just wanted to add a little bit more flavor and I wanted to be more fun with it. So now I'm just putting a good portion of frosting in each 4 bowls, and then I'm going to add my different colors to them. I will also be adding the marshmallow fluff to the frosting as well. So right now I'm just opening the box. Now we have our purple. Now I'm adding that to the, I added a few drops. You can add it however many drops you want. It depends on how light or dark you will want it. I wasn't sure how dark it was going to come out. It was my first time actually experimenting and playing with colors. So I was kind of excited when I had bought this and when I had did this video. This is my first time ever making a video like this. So it was kind of fun. I did my pink, my orange, and now this is my green. Like I said, you can add more food coloring depending if you want it to be darker, you want to add less if you would like for it to be lighter. So now I am opening my marshmallow fluff and I'm adding my marshmallow fluff to my frosting. Again, to give a little bit more flavor and just to be more fun with it, you know. Now I am mixing my purple. Mix, 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 mix. As you can see, it's coming out to be more of a pastel color purple. If I wanted it to be a little bit darker, then I would have added more purple to it, I'm guessing. So now make sure we're mixing. The marshmallow fluff, it doesn't really give you a hard time mixing, but it do get sticky, so you do have to put a little bit of elbow grease into it. Now I'm using different spoons, 4 different spoons as well when I'm mixing these, because obviously you don't want to use one spoon when mixing all 4 colors, because then you'll add the other colors in other colors. Like you'll just be mixing colors in each bowl, and that's not what you want to do. You want to have 4 pure colors. You want to have a pure purple, you want to have your green, and you want to have your orange. Now I am mixing my pink. Just mixing. Again, if you want your colors to be a little bit more darker, mine's in the more pastel Easter colors. I think it came out pretty because in the end I had all put them in the piping bag and made like a rainbow swirl kind of. So it was fun. Now I had added my marshmallow fluff to my orange, and now I'm just mixing my orange. Okay, so now that we have our colors mixed, I'm gonna take my my piping tips and my piping bag. I'm gonna cut a little inch off, less than an inch of my piping bag, just to measure out how much I need to cut off for my tip. I use the it don't matter what kind of decorating tips that you use. I kind of forgot what design that was, so yeah, it don't matter what kind you use. You don't want to cut off a big hole off your piping bag at first, because you don't want your decorating tip to fall through. So just cut little by little until you get enough, until your decorating tip comes out enough. Now, as I said before, I was making like a little rainbow design of frosting for my cupcakes. So I had added all 4 colors into one piping bag. Now, I kind of struggled getting all the colors on one side, but as you can see, it came out it came out a little bit okay. It came out cute in my opinion, but that is all. I hope you enjoyed my baking video. This was my first time doing something like this. Again, this video is for you to learn how to make your cake mix from a box come out and tasting way much better than what it was going to taste like. Again, all you need to do is just add more eggs, 1 more egg than what it says on a box and use milk and butter instead of water and vegetable oil. I hope you enjoy. Please share, like, or subscribe. And thank you.